Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about the most used Ruby framework, Ruby on Rails. We're going to dive into its structure and understand what is the MVC pattern. Alright, let's start from the beginning. What is Ruby on Rails? Ruby on Rails, or just Rails, is a web application framework written in Ruby. It follows the MVC pattern, which stands for Model View Controller, and it's designed to make web applications easier and faster to be developed. In MVC pattern, the model is where your business logic lives. The view is what your users interact with, and the controller acts as a middleman, making sure the right data is displayed in the right way. When you create a new Rails project, it creates a bunch of files for you. It might be looking overwhelming at the beginning, but there are three folders we need to pay attention now. App folder, which includes our models, views, and controllers. The config folder, which includes our routes and some environment configuration files. And DB folder, which includes everything related to database. Now let's talk about the model part. Models represent the data layer of our application, which means you can use your model to connect with your database and interact with your data. In this example, I created the person model, which means in my database I have the people table because this model connects to this table in the database. Usually, if we need to interact with the database, we need to run SQL queries like this. For example, this returns everything from a table. This one inserts data into the table. So if we check, there is one new line, and this one delete everything from the table. It's empty now. But Rails models use active record, which is an abstraction between our Rails application and our database. So for example, if I need to do the same here, I can type person dot all to get everything. It runs the same query on the database and returns the result to me. If I want to create a person create name Jerson, for example. Now it inserted into the database and returned my object. So person.all again. Now I have one person with the name Jerson. Active Record provides many methods which helps us a lot to connect and interact with the database. The controllers are responsible for handling requests and responses. A controller action is executed when the user accesses its specific URL. For example, I created the people controller and the action show to be able to display a specific person's information. Let's try that. If I access its specific URL, which is people and the person ID, which can be 13, it returns me the person with ID 13. If I change the ID, it's gonna return me the other person. How it worked, when I typed the URL here, the URL represents this action in my controller, and it executed this piece of code looking for the person into the database and sent it to the view, which is this file responsible for displaying information to the user. So if I type anything here, it's gonna be displayed to the user. So this is how controllers and views work together. Before finishing, let's take a look at how Rails identifies which controller action is responsible for a specific URL. So if I type Rails routes in my terminal, it responds every route I have here. But if I want to create a new route, I can type here. For example, let's create a route for dogs. Dogs plus the ID. So it points to dogs controller and the action show to. So let's go to the terminal. Rails routes. So I created my new route here, and this is how Rails know which controller action is responsible for your URL. Alright, that's the basic overview of how a Rails application works, from models, managing your data, controllers, handling requests, and views displaying information to your users. I hope it helped you to understand it better, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this, and drop in the comments suggestions for the next videos. See you soon. Bye bye. Be strong.